Welcome to Casual Nerd Reactions. My name is Chris, and today we're starting the fall of the House of Usher. This is the fourth Mike Flanagan TV show that I am reacting to after watching Dr. Sleep some years ago, and The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, and The Incredible Midnight Mass. I am excited to see what this fourth installment has to offer. I have no idea what to expect so far as actual story from this show. I know that the previous series have, well, Hill House and Bly Manor, anyway, have been kind of an amalgamation, an adaptation of multiple sources kind of coming together. And so I am aware that this is an adaptation or is drawing influence from the works of Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know what works in particular, and truthfully, while I have read Edgar Allan Poe's work in the past, I can't say that I retained much knowledge or information. So I'm excited to see just what this has to offer, and perhaps afterwards I will dig into Edgar Allan Poe again and think about it in a different light. But Mike Flanagan hasn't done me wrong yet, so I'm very, very excited to see what this episode brings. Since this is the first episode of a brand new series, I have made it available to you to watch the full episode reaction for free. Just visit casualnerdreactions.com/thefall. And you can watch the full reaction of this episode. You will need your own copy of the episode to watch along and sync with mine. Due to copyright laws, I can't just include the episode in the reaction, but once you're in sync with mine, you can watch the whole thing and not miss a single moment of the reaction. So check that out if you want. Right now, I am thrilled. Let's dive in and experience the first episode of the fall of the House of Usher for the very first time. Happy New Year 1980. Oh, okay. What a fun collection of images.
The lingering illness is over at last.
3? It seems like there's more dead people than there are people in attendance to the funeral.
For then, the spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again in death are, at best, shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? We stand on the brink of a precipice.
Hadn't yet thought about the cast and who might be returning for this show, or who new might we meet. Madeline, Arthur. I didn't catch all those. Just want to go back through and pause on all of those. Is that Carl Lumbly?
He wants to meet with you tonight. He sent an address, a weird address, but it was actually him. Not a secretary, not an assistant. Not even the Pim Reaper. It was him.
Pim Reaper. Oh my gosh, this music is so engrossing. It's compelling. It, like, sucks you in, man.
Thank you.
What kind of house is this, I wonder? And are there any dead bodies in the walls? What a weird place to meet him. I think I might request a more public meeting ground.
Well, come on if you're coming. This bottle was 4 million euros at auction.
Wow.
You know, a single pour, it probably cost twice your annual salary.
I believe that.
Have a glass. Let's see what a few years of your worth tastes like.
Oh boy.
It's unimaginable, and I am truly sorry.
I understand, Augie. You're sorry my children are all dead.
Yeah, I think.
It's better we talk with your attorney
How many
present.
subpoenas have you sent me over the years? You finally got me.
Waive it then.
Fine. I waive my right to an attorney.
Is that wise?
What's not to celebrate? You got away with it.
Nobody gets away with anything, not really.
Madeline would beg to differ.
Well, you can ask yourself. She's downstairs in the basement. I called you tonight to give you the only thing you've ever wanted. My confession.
Yes. Confess. I'm ready to listen. And he's ready to record.
We're in my childhood home.
Wow.
Yeah, this is where I grew up. Kept it all these years. The whole neighborhood.
And what exactly are you confessing to?
All of it.
All of it.
The whole thing. You brought what? 73 charges. All of them. Everything. All yours.
Whoa.
And I'll throw in a bonus.
I'm mostly interested in the bonus.
I'll tell you how my children died.
I know how they died, Rodrick. Everybody knows.
You don't know a thing. But where to start? At the beginning, I suppose.
I love the beginning. Let's go there.
In this very room.
Ooh. You know, it looks much nicer Here, I assume in the past and in the light of day. 70 years ago?
The woman who would shape every choice we'd ever make.
Ooh.
Our mother.
So many familiar faces. I love this.
She was personal secretary to the CEO of Fortunato Pharmaceuticals.
Don't think I didn't notice President Roslin earlier.
We were forbidden to go anywhere near Longfellow's house. It was one of our mother's most insistent rules. So Madeline, being Madeline, insisted that we break it.
I like Madeline. She seems fun. Oh! Don't move, kid. Don't move. No, never mind. You should move. Right back over. Uh-oh.
Spy climbing my fence. Not here, not ever. We agreed.
Let go of her arm.
Tell him, Madeline.
Had a couple of looky-loos, that's all.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again.
Eliza? Is he all right?
He's fine.
No harm done. We'll talk about it Monday. Just make sure those Emory files are on my desk.
Just like God the Father is on high and loves us from far away, the same is true for Mr. Longfellow.
So I don't think he loves you.
He's complicated.
He's a mean one.
If pain and suffering were the kisses of Jesus, then he kissed the living out of my mother in the years that followed.
Oh, 9 years later. Oh, much suffering has occurred. Oh.
Mom, you have to drink, and maybe we need to call a doctor like on the TV.
No!
Mom, please.
Where is your faith? Don't say what you want. Say what makes him say what you want. That way it's his idea.
Mom said we're not supposed to ever bother him. Him especially.
Trust me, it's the least he can do. Okay, now let's go over it one more time. We wouldn't want to bother you, Mr. Longfellow.
He just keeps getting worse. And we know that you're so...
Oh man, he's
good
giving a
at helping
heck of a
people.
performance.
She always said you were a man that could move mountains. Maybe you could talk her into it.
I'm sorry, you're here at my home. So I'll talk your mother into seeing a doctor.
If it was you telling her what she needs to do, she might listen. She won't listen to us. But you, she loves you.
What did you say?
It's the least you could do for her.
Oh, that's just Madeline talking. She dropped the manipulation
I don't
tactic.
know what you're talking about. No idea, okay? Eliza was a decent worker for a long time, but she lost it. Now take your insinuations, take your grift, and get off my property.
He is truly a nasty human being.
Those Eliza's kids?
Literally your neighbors? Y'all aren't neighbors. Not in heart, anyway. In proximity, but not in practice, perhaps. Oh, she died.
What do we do?
Well, we know what she wouldn't want us to do.
You mourn.
If we call someone, that means police. Doctors, they'll embalm her.
They can't.
I know.
Thank heaven the crisis, the danger was past.
Just taking care of it themselves.
Come let the burial rite be read. The funeral song be sung.
So sad.
Maddie!
Someone broke in and took the body? Presumably? Or did she crawl out? That's terrifying regardless of what scenario proves true. Footsteps leading into the house. Muddy handprint as well. I am getting Lady in the Lake vibes, but I suspect this is nothing like that.
Mommy?
Mommy!
If this is Mom and she was buried alive, she's gonna be super upset with you. And if this is Mom and she was buried dead,
We've got to call a doctor. I don't care what she
It was
says.
an accident.
uh-oh. She sees something that I don't see. There, yo, oh no, no, let go, release him.
We didn't know. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Please, Mommy.
Holy crap. Alive or dead? What are you doing? Maybe she's gonna go see Mr. Longfellow and give him what for. Ooh.
Now the whole street's out, it's not just us.
Oh man. She is going to Mr. Longfellow's.
Oh my God.
Oh man. She looks so fierce, amazing. I guess I should be horrified. Holy crap. And that's how William Longfellow met his end at the hands of a corpse, presumably?
The official story was Longfellow had a heart attack in his sleep.
More believable story.
The last thing my mother did in this life was kill a powerful man, and we carried that secret with us.
Okay, so she was alive at the time, but barely.
Why are we talking about your mother?
And I'm supposed to, because she's here.
She's here?
What do you mean?
She's right behind you.
I read somewhere about high-powered negotiation tactics. How some truly brilliant business people will plant these moments into high-stakes conversations, make them turn around. Just something to assert a little control. I'm not going to turn around, Rodrick.
Good for you. I don't see anything behind him. Maybe I will in editing.
So why are you telling me this?
Why I treated them the way I did.
Okay.
And why they were the way they were was because of my dad. I just promised I would never do what he did. I would never close the gates. If you're my blood, you're my blood. Doesn't matter how you got here, who your mother was. I have 6 kids. 6 kids by 5 mothers, but they're all mine. And I treated them so. You always were an effective orator, Augie. Even your opening arguments, I was impressed. That day was the last day we were all in the same place.
2 weeks ago.
Today, I want to tell you why the United States government has finally brought these charges in what will be the most meaningful pharmaceutical prosecution in the history of our country.
Get him. Is
the mountain of corpses that piled up.
We're going to talk about that later.
The Usher family, under CEO Rodrick Usher and COO Madeline Usher, spent 4 decades growing.
She's playing Madeline? Cool. Oh, we're going to break down the whole cast.
It claims its products are safe and effective and destroys any evidence that they are not. They believe that people like them don't go to prison. They're right. In 40 years, not one thing, not one indictment, not one consequence has stuck to Rodrick Usher or Madeline Usher or anyone else in the family. The House of Usher has weathered every storm, sling, and arrow and stands higher, stronger, and darker today than ever before.
For now.
You're going to hear from one of them.
Oh, which one?
An informant from within the inner circle.
Oh, they're all caught off guard.
Evidence will be unimpeachable.
Objection!
Approach.
Ooh, that someone is clearly the source of the crack that leads to the fall of the House of Usher.
They have not been made known to the defense. That violates basic discovery, and the
true.
government knows better, Your Honor.
This witness came forward at great personal risk, would be in great danger if exposed. They even fear for their life.
All the more reason not to mention this in your opening argument, Mr. Dupin.
You're right. I'll happily strike.
Family dinner.
All of them.
Spouses too.
I'm not sure whether to be more excited about Mark Hamill or Mary McDonald.
This is bad. Dad doesn't do family dinners. This is about one thing, the mole.
Informant. A mole is one of them who infiltrated us, and an informant is one of us giving something to them.
An informant in the family. I mean, that can't be true, can it?
He plays a different character every time.
Are the charges true? Because if not, we've got nothing to worry about. If someone really broke the law, shouldn't they be punished?
Ooh.
That is a brave and thoughtful thing to say.
Especially if you want to get written out of the will.
My money is on one of the bastards.
Well, maybe we've all just underestimated Freddie. Your dad goes down, Freddie's on the throne. Maybe he's just giving him a little push.
Why bother? He gets everything anyway, no matter how inept he is, apparently. Frederick is about as close to Rodrick as you get without a junior. I don't know why I didn't just call him Frodrick.
Goldbug will show him that the Usher Empire should be a matriarchy. And Tamerlane Usher should be the queen.
This informant. Speaking of, who knows how late this goes tonight? I canceled the girl.
I didn't know there was a girl tonight.
Well, there was, and she's canceled. Dad needs to see his kids don't need $500 million and an endless supply of test monkeys to be successful.
What the frick?
Got it.
What are they doing to that test monkey? Some kind of artificial heart transplant?
All right.
I mean, the billions and test monkeys
What?
probably help.
This new powder your dad sent over, it's gonna poison the study. Trial's never gonna look legit if we're using an experimental Fortunato paralytic. Sure you want me to come tonight?
What? You have to come. And it's Camille. We want to know it's Camille.
It's just gonna be a bloodbath.
They have to make sure you're not the informant.
I'd like to meet your family.
Oh,
there's a whole process for that. Significant others are a thing.
Be right up. I'm in the elevator. We can talk about it in a minute.
Oh, you're in the elevator. Okay, see you in a sec.
What?
You gotta go.
You promised me a selfie.
Now.
That was unexpected.
Let you out when he goes to the bathroom.
Okay, my friends aren't gonna believe I met Napoleon Usher.
I might not have seen Rodrick's mom in the background, but I see her.
Yeah. Why don't we put the news on in the bedroom?
All right, we're coming out swinging.
Tucker?
I'm sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Vanity Fair, see if he wants a profile on Leo. We can let Leo help out for a change.
Your step... Juno's gonna be at the Met this weekend. Your dad's office asked for some page 6.
They scraped her off an emergency room floor. Do they think I can turn her into Princess Grace? It's old enough to be her grandfather. That'll never not be gross.
Do you need us after dinner?
No, not tonight. What I do need is for you to stay on top of Victorine and the rest of it. If this informant thing is real, I have to be the one that finds them. We're gonna find out who's talking to the feds, and then I'm gonna freeze their head, and I'm gonna give it to my father on a platinum plate.
Oh my gosh, I think she might mean that literally.
See if Cartier will make a platinum plate.
My God, every one of these performers disappear into the role. They're so incredible.
All of them. All at once. Thank God we didn't have a wedding. I didn't have to look them all in the eye. They hate me.
They don't.
Well, except Freddie. But I'm pretty sure he's just kissing your arse.
They will love you because I love you, and the only thing stronger than love is how scared they are of getting cut out of the will.
That's probably true.
Dawn, what are you doing here?
I need to talk to you, Rodrick. Alone might be best.
We didn't get to hear that conversation, huh? But it shook him to his core. Something to discover later.
You've had a calendar year, to come up with a proposal for your first business venture, a venture we'd like to support, and you've come up with a nightclub.
Prospero's gonna be one of the most exclusive nightclubs in the entire world. We're gonna turn movie stars and monarchs away with attitude. It's a dark room with killer music, few rules, fewer consequences. I'm thinking a tiered membership.
Rodrick, please, anytime.
Oh, tiered membership. Why didn't you say so? No, we won't set up a meeting at the office. Being an usher is about changing the world.
Just look at the numbers. I'll come to the office.
You already said no, son. Come up with a new idea.
Let's get in there and watch their eyes. When the paperwork's passed out, I'll be able to tell.
I believe her.
Something is going on with you.
All good.
Something is seriously going on with him.
For the road.
Whoa. Want to run that back?
I thought we could all benefit from this. Pharmaceutical law.
Find something for our defense. Oh, no. Wait, it's key.
Oh, that's so cool. I guess, yeah, applaud the cake.
Mr. Pym has some important paperwork for each of you.
Is this also cake?
This is a robust new non-disclosure agreement.
Forfeiture of inheritance, waiving of civil suits. You guys, we really should get together more often. It's just a balm for the soul. Speaking of prenups, how are things, Juno?
It's going great.
Yeah.
You want to watch me sign it? I'll sign it right now.
How do you spell Frodrick?
All right, get the jokes out now because this isn't funny. The company is the family, and we expect each of you to defend it with your life. And if anyone comes after us, we will exhaust our arsenal until the threat's neutralized.
Doom sued into oblivion, taken out of the will.
Probably murdered.
Like dead.
Yeah. Oh, there's 3 dead bodies soon.
$50 million to the lucky usher who figures out who's talking to the feds.
You just...
Yes, I'm putting a bounty on you. You, the bag. You, the informant. You know who you are.
Oh my gosh.
And to the rest of you, happy hunting.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I saw them all together. And for some of them, the last time I saw them alive.
If you're somehow implying that I'm responsible, even indirectly.
I'm not. I know who's responsible.
Is it you?
The deaths have been examined, investigated pretty thoroughly, and as strange as they may be, those deaths are unrelated.
I am responsible.
No way they're unrelated.
There's a woman.
I knew that face.
I can't wait to learn. Seems like the whole gang's here for this show. All right, we saw this like in the very opening, 1979. They really got the whole gang.
Guessing you're Jay Gatsby or Daisy Buchanan. What made you ditch the other party?
Change of scenery. Haven't seen this place before. Did you just open?
Sort of.
Thought it'd be more crowded.
Oh, it'll fill up later. I'll drink one with you. Don't tend to do that with customers, but to 1979. May it rest in peace.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe we really did that.
Keep your voice down, Rodrick.
What do we do now?
We wait here. Drink, but don't get drunk. Talk, but don't talk. If the cops aren't here by midnight, that's a good sign. The important thing is that people see us tonight.
Know what a resolution is, really? It's a deal you make with the future. The future's coming fast. It's nearly here. You already know your resolutions, don't you?
We're gonna change the world.
Changing the world.
New Year's 1980. I remember what else happened that night. That was when everything changed at Fortunato. People still whisper about what possibly could have happened that night.
Oh, the Raven.
Your life will take a complete
Nevermore.
change of course. Tonight.
What is this?
You feel it.
We buried 3 of my children today.
Yeah, right.
The other 3 last week.
All
There's
6?
a reason I'm telling you this. You'll be reluctant to accept it or believe it, but I promise you, every single piece is important.
I believe you.
And vague. Who shall say?
I can't tell if she's wearing like a raven mask or if it's a face cut down the middle.
The abyss.
What is it?
She's here.
She, the girl, woman from the bar, who maybe more than a woman.
Of
Oh,
a fall from such
all 6 of them, all 6 of them, what?
And this fall, this rushing annihilation.
Someone already in that limo? Ah, yes, there is. What?
Full security at the jail and get Donaldson. No other doctors.
It's time.
It's time. The Ravens come to collect. We came upon a midnight dreary. Like, what is this? I have no idea what's going on with this show, why this man's kids are dead, or what his confession is going to lead. But man, this is such a layered and intriguing, captivating series, at least based upon this first episode. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I think what I'm going to do is open up the IMDb, specifically on the episode page, not the show page. And I just kind of want to look and break down the cast and talk about some of the characters, I think, for this first wrap up. With all of these performers, I'm just constantly impressed because they disappear into their roles. Just an incredible cast. When Mike Flanagan and crew cast somebody into a role, they're not just casting somebody who fits the role, although I'm sure that's a part of it. They're casting somebody who truly can transform into the role, as evidenced by many of these cast members now in several of these Mike Flanagan projects who they're completely different people, okay? They're completely different people. You cannot convince me otherwise, even though I know it is the same actor portraying the role. I'm just going to go down the list that they are listed in on the IMDb page for this first episode. So, Carla Gugino. Forgive me. Also, I won't pretend like I know how to pronounce all of these names, but of course, she has been in several Mike Flanagan projects. Specifically, I know Hill House and Bly Manor, both excellent shows, and she was excellent in all of those. I don't know anything about her role here so far. Is she just a bartender who has no significance other than she poured a couple of drinks? I suspect there's something very mystical, strange, raven. Wanted to say ravenous, but say it like a ravenous. I don't know. Possibly the most intriguing and curious. Certainly she's haunting Rodrick. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what her character and story might contain as we go throughout this show. Bruce Greenwood as Rodrick Usher. I've seen Bruce Greenwood probably in, I don't know, lots of projects over the years. But if we're keeping it to Mike Flanagan, he of course was in Dr. Sleep. So fantastic. His portrayal of Rodrick Usher is, oh, man, he just has this weight with his performance. He brings this incredible sense of I don't know, man, dread, horror. This man's horrified. He was shaken to his core by the whatever conversation with when Dr. Don showed up, Donaldson. Like, I can't wait to hear more about that conversation, as well as just him being haunted by I assume Verna and his 6 children and who knows what else. How did he get into power? I mean, his character, not just in the portrayal of Bruce Greenwood, but just in even in the past iterations, from as a child to his teenage years, the experience he had with his mom, just really intriguing as a character in the head of this family. How did he go from this boy who feared, Mr. Longfellow, to now taking control and being in charge of the empire? Clearly something happened. On December 31st, 1979, / January 1st, 1980. I can't wait to find out more. Mary McDonnell as Madeline Usher. I am just freaking thrilled that Mary McDonnell is in this show. I loved her on Battlestar Galactica. She is an incredible performer. I don't know that she's been in any other Mike Flanagan projects. I'll have to check. But she's phenomenal. And Madeline, from the moment we were introduced to her as a child, again, through all her iterations, she just has this like cunning, intuitive shrewdness. And no doubt she is a huge part of the success of the Ushers as a family. She probably had a huge hand in building this house, apart from any mystical or business prowess that is involved. I don't know. Henry Thomas is another who I think has been in all the Mike Flanagan projects that I've seen. And again, he disappears into the role. He, of course, is playing Frederick Usher here. And I think it's safe to say I've never seen him perform in such a manner, certainly contrasting this to his role in Midnight Mass. And I didn't even recognize him at first in Midnight Mass. Like, it's just like, are we sure it's the same person? His mannerisms, his countenance, like he's a different person. I'm pretty sure of it. Him and his family are an interesting dynamic. And I'm just, as with all of these, I'm curious to see how the story is built and where his story goes. The incredible Kate Siegel, Mike Flanagan's wonderful wife, incredible performer, again, disappears into the role. She's here as Camille, and truly, in this one, she is a completely different person, but she's nailing the role. And I'm just so glad that she's in all these projects, because I think that sums it up. Another one I'm not sure the pronunciation of exactly, Rahul Kohli. He's been in Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, and here he is again in this, once again, just disappearing into the role. Leo, I'm excited to learn more about just all of the kids, all of the family. Samantha Sloyan, very different in Hill House versus Midnight Mass, and then here, I just like, man, especially Midnight Mass. Her performance in Midnight Mass was so good. I hated her so much. But here, she's far more likable immediately. Tamerlane Usher. But yes, Tania, am I saying that right? Tania Miller? Loved her in Bly Manor. Her performance in that show was incredible, and I have no doubt she's going to bring that same level of top tier acting ability into this show and her performance as Victorine. Zach Gilford showed up again as young Rodrick, of course, Friday Night Lights, but now he will always be the guy from Midnight Mass. Like, that's now his, like that, ooh, boy, ingrained in my brain forever. Willa Fitzgerald was here as young Madeline along with Zach Gilford, and I don't think she's been in previous Mike Flanagan projects. I did see her earlier this year in the movie Strange Darling, which I absolutely loved. If you didn't see Strange Darling, consider checking that out, because it's a truly great film. Okay, I could go on and on. I'll just wrap it up with these final 3. Robert Longstreet, who of course was in Hill House as the incredible William Longfellow here. I knew it was him, but I was just like in awe, because once again, a totally different person. He was so like quiet and likable, more or less, in Hill House, and then here he's just like mean. He's a true like gangster bully type person. Wow, truly great performance. Annabeth Gish, really great in Hill House, very different in Midnight Mass. And then here as their mother, like truly devastatingly terrifying, as in I guess she was still alive. Horrifying moment, to be sure. And of course, I was shocked to see Mark Hamill as Arthur Pym. I had no idea he was in this show, and always know he's going to turn in an incredible performance. And so again, I had no idea what to expect when I turned on this show, but it was far more engaging and intriguing. And just from the music to the story, you know, we're seeing the story told throughout the years with the framing device of that interview with Carl Lumbly, who of course I know mostly from Alias, if we're being honest, but always great to see him. This episode made me feel incredibly excited, a little bit horrified, but mostly just curious and intrigued as to where the story is going to go. And I want to thank you so much for watching this with me. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, consider checking out the full reaction for free. You can watch the first episode for free at casualnerdreactions.com/thefall. Just need your own copy of the episode to watch along. But of course, all the episodes will be released here every week on YouTube. So I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.